Stepping slow at dawn, mystic journeys on the door. Boots still muddy from the trail, we bring the woods inside the floor. Woven baskets by the bench, sage and yarrow in the air. Old hands pass a soft-born truth like firelight we learn to share. Be impeccable with your word, don't take it all to heart. Don't make a spell of what you see, we begin where we are. Mystic journeys hold us close, mystic journeys we belong. For agreements, for bright stones, we keep walking, we stay strong. Mystic journeys hold us close, mystic journeys sing it on. Grateful hands and open doors, we are many, we are one. Out past the cedar line we kneel where the chanterelles hide. Bitter greens and rosemary, moon white stems in soil and pine. Someone names the healing leaf, someone knows the mushroom sign, someone tells a grand old tale, and we pass it down in time. Don't assume the wound is yours, don't invent the cloud. Speak with care and listen deep, let the circle be proud. Mystic journeys hold us close, mystic journeys we belong. For agreements, for bright stones, we keep walking, we stay strong. Mystic journeys hold us close, mystic journeys sing it on. Grateful hands and open doors, we are many, we are one. And if the week has worn us thin, we bring it to the table. Soup and stories, cracked out laughs, the kind that make you able. Ancient wisdom in the stew, in the herb jars, in our names. Every act of gentle care turns the dark into a flame. Mystic journeys hold us close, mystic journeys we belong. For agreements, for bright stones, we keep walking, we stay strong. Mystic journeys hold us close, mystic journeys sing it on. Grateful hands and open doors, we are many, we are one. We are many, we are one. Mystic journeys hold us close, mystic journeys hold us close.
Hello and welcome to Mystic Journeys. It's a solo episode tonight, just me. The boys are out. Nerdy's kind of feeling a little under the weather. Derek's out right now. He may make it back before the show ends. We hope to see him, but if not, I'll just be us hanging out tonight. Yeah, that's really funny because that's exactly what Sam thought too, Mello, about the song. I didn't write that. It's a thing that Derek did through AI. It's really cool though. Definitely pretty neat. I've been playing it on guitar. So it's something that we want to try to remake, and we've been some talk about a Mystic Journeys album in the works. So that'd be really cool. Anyway, it's our Wayback Wednesday episode. We are on chapter 33. The title of the story is She Never Ate a Shrimp. The quote is from All of Us. It says, I don't know what is best for you. Um, anyway, we'll get into it in a minute. It's a really cool story. And I'll read the prompt before we get into the story. I'll let you guys think about it, and then I'll read the story. Got some cool plant facts. But yeah, cheers. I'm glad to see you guys too. Thank you all for being here. Make sure to hit the like. Make sure to switch to all chat so you can see everybody's comments. And then we're gonna keep it kind of light. If you guys got questions and things along the way, just let me know. Let's keep it light tonight. It's normally our watch along Wednesday. I think what we'll do for that is I'll just get in Discord and stream some Bob's Burgers. It's something that I love. I've been watching it for a while anyway. So um, right now I'm on season 8, so I think we're just gonna do that for tonight. If you guys want, you come over there on Discord and I'll stream it for you guys, or just hang out, whatever. And we'll just go ahead and get right into the story today. Yeah, cheers. I've been working on that a little bit better. I've been trying to be more aware of my reading. I thank you for that. Let's read today's prompt first, and then we'll get into the story. It says, have you ever judged someone or tried to give them advice based on what you value instead of considering what is important to them? Has anyone ever done this to you? If so, how did you feel? How might that experience affect your interactions with others who you might feel aren't living to the fullest, quote unquote, even though they are different than you? The quote again in the very beginning from All of Us says, I don't know what is best for you. The title of the reading here is She Never Ate a Shrimp. When my mama passed away a few years ago, I began sobbing. Among my tears, I remember shouting, she never even eaten a shrimp. One of the reasons I was so sad was that I felt like she didn't truly get a chance to experience all that life had to offer. She had never traveled anywhere outside of her religion where she lived, or sorry, her region where she lived. She had never flown on a plane. She had only worked one job that I know of. And all these feelings came out as she's never even eaten a shrimp. My mama was a very predictable lady, and she always had a toothpick in her mouth and would twirl it around using her tongue. I could never watch when she did this. I always imagined her choking on it. You would never catch her without a glass of sweet tea with a soaked napkin around the glass from the condensation. She made flapjacks in the morning and creamed potatoes, or mashed potatoes as they're called, almost every day. Something about calling them creamed potatoes made them taste even better. She wasn't exactly the sweet doing type of grandmother, although she loved me very much. One Christmas, I decided to be crafty, which I'm not, and make her a vase with marbles and fake flowers. When I gave it to her, she said, what in the hell do you want me to do with this, honey? Oh, sweet mama. Over the years, I thought about the limitations I felt for her I felt her life had. And I've come to a different conclusion than I first experienced when she passed away. I'm a different person than my mama was. And the things I value are different. She valued consistency, familiarity, and keeping with the traditions and the matriarch of our family. These things made her happy. She was a mother, grandmother, a great grandmother, and she would laugh at so hard as she watched her grandchildren that she would almost fall to the floor. I don't plan on having grandchildren, and I really want to travel, learn about different cultures, and meet lots of new people. Thankfully, my mama never tried to make me be someone I'm not by giving me advice that would have made her happy, but not me. So now, I no longer feel like she was living less of a life because she never ate a shrimp. And again, today's prompt says here at the end, Have you ever judged someone or tried to give them advice based on what you value instead of considering what is important to them? Has anyone ever done this to you? If so, how did it feel? And how might that experience affect your interactions with others that who you might feel aren't living to the fullest, even though they are different than you? I'm going to answer for nerdy. No, I'm just kidding. uh, yeah, have you ever judged someone who's or tried to give them advice based on what you value instead of consider what's important to them? Sure. I mean, we do talk about this all the time. It's about holding a mirror up to people, and what we try to do is project our ideas and thoughts onto people. And sometimes we're not even aware that the fact that we're doing it. I'm very guilty of this. Still practicing. I'm still conscious of this as I can be, and I feel that there are moments in my life where I'm probably doing this and I'm not even aware of it. But I try to be conscious where I'm judging people. Um, and well, of course, I've judged people, but have I tried to give them advice based on what I value instead of considering what's important to them? And yeah, it's definitely my judgment and my again the way I press my life onto other people instead of doing what I talked about with Ram Dass and just letting a tree be a tree. Let an oak tree be an oak tree. Don't wish it was a pine tree. Don't wish it was something different. So I've been practicing that with people. It's something that I've really had to focus on. Has anyone ever done this to me? I'm sure they have. I'm sure if I think about it, I could think of several situations where I found that someone has done this to me, tried to press their beliefs or their opinions on what they think that my might be the best lived through their lens. But I'm really super big on just doing what I want to do, live my life the way that I want to live my life. And if that offends people, that's on them. Watched a beautiful video of Oliver Tree talking about that, and I'll play it here in just a minute. But yeah, how does it make you feel? It doesn't really change how I feel too much. Like I would like to people I care about and people I love. I would love to live life in their lens, but I can't live life for them. So if it doesn't match up to what they feel, I might feel saddened by that. Or if it's just a random person, I might not care at all. I might not care what they think. But at the end of the day, my life is made on. It's not. I don't just live my life willy nilly. I live my life based on decisions and facts and thoughts that I've made. So even if people do judge me on that, I'm still confident in how I feel and how I think. But how might that experience affect my interactions with others who I feel aren't living to the fullest, even though they're different than me? And that's exactly what I was trying to make a point of. The idea of like pine trees and oak trees. We don't wish that there's something different. Um, and in doing that, we talked about this, I believe, either Monday or last week on the idea of, you know, you're not really forcing people to be something different. You're just accepting them for who they are. And that shows that when you learn how to be free, you can learn how to love people. And when you learn how to love people, it sets you free. It's that kind of concept. And that's what I try to practice on doing every single day. Um, Again, we do our best. Sometimes it's not always the best. And sometimes we recalculate and like, you know what, I could do a little bit better on this tomorrow. And sometimes, depending on your state of mind or your state of physicality, it's always going to differ. Your best is going to differ. So just keep practicing every single day. Let me read some comments here. Sorry, I just realized I was like all up in you guys' face. Normally, with the three of us, it kind of pulls me back. There we go. Apologize about that. Meeting other cultures show me what people think is important. Yeah, it's what your culture teaches you is normal and what you as an individual prefer mixed up. It's a really great way to look at it. I would agree with that for the most part. And I definitely do agree with meeting other cultures shows us a lot. Let me look up this quote. I've read this quote several times, but it's one of my favorite quotes from Mark Twain about traveling the world. It's a very famous quote here. It says, "Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it sorely based on these accounts. Broad, wholesome, and charitable views of men and things cannot be acquired by vegetating in one little corner of earth all one's lifetime." So that's what helps expand our mind is travel and realizing that these people might not speak my language, but they still deal with the same ups and downs, and they still have kids and loss and culture, and it's all different. But yeah, it's a great way to put it. That it's a mixture between um, what our culture teaches us, plus what we prefer, our preferences. That's why it's really not great to have preferences. Our attachments are kind of what make us suffer. It's better to just go with the flow. We talk about this in so many cultures. Even in the Book of Five Rings, Mayamwatsu Musashi talks about this, about having no preferences in life. It's the way to be. Something I think about a lot. Cheers, y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Yeah, but who's to say that you didn't live the fullest life that you could in that situation? Like, that's really what making the most of life is. It's living in whatever, like, living whatever life that you decide to live, being like happy with that decision that you want to live it, and just living it to the fullest, whatever it is. It could be a simple life. Monks teach us that. You don't have to travel very far outside of a cave to find happiness. Anything that you can be found is within you. That's one of the Musashi quotes. Let me look it up here so I'm not misquoting it. There's nothing outside of yourself. Things that sorry, let me pull this up right over here bigger. There's nothing outside of yourself that can ever enable you to be better, stronger, richer, quicker, or smarter. Everything is within. Everything exists. Seek nothing outside of yourself. That's my Matsu Musashi from the Book of Five Rings. And that's a really great quote. That shows us that we don't need to, is as good as the point that we were just making about traveling. It's not, you know, it's just the statistics that it is. Like, you have to travel to be able to understand, but you don't have to physically travel. You can mentally travel there, especially now and today. You don't actually ever have to leave your town to know that people in China speak a different language than you. That's a really great tool that we have. So it's kind of polarizing, isn't it? About a lamb. Nice. Cool, cool, cool. Um, we're just rolling through here. Actually, let's do this here. I said I was gonna play that Oliver Tree video. Let me stay in track here. It's just me. I'm ADD. You guys gotta bear with me, all right?
No matter who you are, if you're poor or rich, it doesn't matter. Every single person has fucked up days. You might be going through the darkest moment in your life, but in a matter of a week, everything can change. When I signed with the junior syndicate team, I was sleeping on my friend's sofa.
But that's just shows you it's like anything can change in your life, and you have to, you know, stay positive through it all. And the way that I try to live my life is by remembering about the mere concept that we talked about how we project those ideas onto other people. And I was having a talk with this gentleman on Instagram the other day, and he said this to me.
Uh, Not really, personally, but I grew up around anger, and I understand that anger is a relationship with fear of not having control. So, if I had to give tips on anger, is definitely I would work on whatever would help you surrender, have faith in the mystery, the unknown, not having control.
Exactly.
Whether it's meditation or walks or faith, the bigger picture, like what can help you release the idea that you need control.
100%. Letting go and surrendering to the experience, putting our hearts above our heads. Like we talked about with the idea of whenever you bow to pray, and to be water and not to force ourselves, but to go with the flow. Those things that we have to constantly practice in these different scriptures that we've been talking about, from Taoism to the Bhagavad Gita, the Book of Five Rings, even in the Bible, all these different scriptures. They're tools that are saying these things in different ways, in different stories, just like the story that we just read of that girl. Um, and it's all just gravitates towards different people. Like that story gravitated towards Mello because she was saying that it reminded her of her grandma. But that's not going to be the case with everybody. They're going to have to hear it from a different person in a different way for it to resonate with them. But there's tons of different things like that that you can use as tools, that we should be using as tools. Again, like being like water, looking at nature for what it is and accepting it for what it is, not wishing it was something different. Things like that. Little tips and tricks, man, that were all used to get better. Um, and then I want to read this right here too. This is pretty cool. This is, I'm not exactly sure what's going on with these. Maybe Nerdy would be able to explain a little bit better, but these are just black pages that are in between the stories. There's been a couple of them that have popped up through here, 3 or 4. Um, but they're like little words of wisdom in between the stories of the way back. So this one says, never worry about the numbers. Help one person at a time and always start with the person nearest to you. Mother Teresa. It's a quote from Mother Teresa. Let's read this right here. It says, keep the flame aglow by taking the action below. Help the person nearest to you. When you think of helping others, what comes to your mind? Is it feeding the hungry, giving the poor, giving to the poor rather, or maybe traveling around the world to help provide water? Those are very noble ways of helping. But if they're overwhelming, you can help the person nearest to you at this very moment. What a pressure relief. Mother Teresa made such an example she made such an impact, and it's no wonder with the mindset of simply helping the nearest person, whether it's helping someone expand their skill set, becoming a better leader, cooking something delicious, or simply listening to them, you have something to offer. Who is that one person you can help today? Sorry, I got a mosquito on me. I still didn't get him. And it says the action here at the end. Really pay attention to your surroundings today and look for opportunities to help others. Again, don't feel pressure to do something huge. Start small. In fact, here's one concrete way to help. Invite one person to your tribe, whether it's someone you've worked with on a project, talked to in the hallway, or set near that may not be involved yet. And again, what she refers to as her tribe is the book club that they do. So just your group, someone you worked with on a project, someone you talk to in the hallways, someone that you sit near that may not be involved in. All you have to do is reach out and be like, you know what, man, I see you a lot. What's your name? Oh, I've never got a chance to meet you. It's nice to meet you. Just to reach out and pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. You'd be amazed what happens. The universe rewards courage when you do the things like that. And there's a quote from Jack Cornfield I quote all the time on the show about, tend to the garden you can touch. It's one of my favorite quotes. I've thought about it since I was very young because that's the best way you can make an impact. Because there are so many things that you can focus on the internet that are really negative, that cloud up people's judgment about what the world really looks like. For one, they've never even been to these places and they're already have this idea of it. And two, it's like it's not happening in their environment outside their back door, so they freak out about it like it's going to be, like it's coming their way. And not say that we should turn a blind eye to what's happening around us in the world, but definitely shouldn't throw a spotlight on it. And what we should do is focus on what is around us and what we can help. We shouldn't be looking at all the fires around us. Whenever our house is burning down outside, we can at least put water around our house and stop that fire. But something about people in general, it's not has nothing to do with the internet or the phone like people think. It's just it really increased it, made it worse. But it's the same thing that people did back in the times of newspapers. You sit around and you look at the news and, oh, this is happening across the world. Like this is happening across the United States even. So it's like it's not even happening where you live, but yeah, it impacts your thoughts and your day and how you live your life. Maybe for the better, but maybe for the worse, depending on how you ingest or how much you ingest of it. It's pretty cool. Food for thought. Um, Rolling right on through, dude. Thank you all for joining. No, it's just me tonight. The boys are out. Maybe Derek will actually be able to join us here in a bit if he makes it back in time. We'll see what's going on. Nerdy's under the weather, so you guys send him good wishes. And yeah, appreciate y'all being here. Anger is fear and pain with nowhere to go, like a whistle in a pressure cooker. 100%. Something I always think about. Something I struggle with openly. I talk about this on the show. Um, to me, I'm like, whenever I'm in a bad mood, I'm kind of like, screw everything kind of person. Like whenever I get like that, so it's conditioning. It's something I built myself up, my brain to do. So I'm still like breaking those chains. Um, yeah, I suffer with it a lot. It's definitely I've been aware of it again my whole life that I've had this. So what I use these tools to do is like you going out in nature, like exerting my body physically by hiking, walking around, riding a bike, whatever I'm doing physically, and then um, mental outlets, creative outlets like the show, writing music or doing riffing with HB, where I can talk about songs and bands where it's a little bit more about the things I like, rather not that I don't like the stuff on the show, but it's my hobbies. So to me, it's like it's second nature stuff for me. Where the show is things I'm like learning as I'm kind of talking about it on the show. Um, they have different tools out like that, outlets like that. Friends, hanging out with friends, and just having casual conversation does the fucking most for me, honestly. When I can just like be chill, watch a movie with friends and talk, or play a game and hang out, things like that. That's the best way for me to relieve that anger because it separates me from it, and I can maybe look back on it and be in a different mindset. Like, wow, now I can address it without my feelings and emotions getting involved. But yeah, it's something I struggle with. I'm sure most people here probably struggle with it on some degree, even if it's just minor annoyances that stress you out and make you agitated, all the way to like getting really upset and punching walls and stuff like that, which I don't have that issue. But I've seen people deal with that. It's something that I've prevented myself from going towards that way for sure. Raging out, getting super upset. Yep. It's like a bad drug. I talk about this a lot. Maybe I've talked about this on the show. I'm sure I have. But when you have anger, it's like a bad drug in the sense that you feel like you need to do this physical thing to get it out. And it's usually directed towards people yelling at them or putting your hands on them to get that anger out. But really, what it does is just make you need it more. Now, every time this happens to you, you need to yell or you need to get physical to like get this emotion out of you. And so it builds up that kind of it's the idea. I heard a quote from somebody, but there's an even better summarization of this and the song from Haley Williams, Simmer, about how rage is a quiet thing and you think that you tamed it, but it just lies in wait. You think that you conquered that, but all it takes is for you to have a bad day, like for everything to clash at the bottom of that roller coaster that I talk about, where you're having a bad day, you meet somebody else who's having a bad day, plus now you're tired and hungry, wet and cold. It's everything that like pushes you as a human to your brink of what you can handle, and then now you've lost your optimism. Now that rage it swells back up like it was never gone, and you have to learn how to reconquer that, like a demon, like a skeleton. Every single time you have to learn how to push it back down, and that's the really the difficult thing is like not pushing it is the key because once you push it, you suppress it and then it comes back out again. So really the ways like I talk about it, you have to learn how to know these things by name, know these demons by name. Like, hey, you're that anger demon, and you're not just the genetical demon anger. You're like the one that's like evolutionary anger, and you have to like decide what's in your head. Where's this anger coming from? Is it coming from my past, my preferences? Is it coming from genetical things? Is it coming from our evolutionary mind state? You know, and really helps you tackle it from all different ways. I have tons of different tools. It's something that I've really, learned how to navigate. Yeah, so it's important to not have preferences for sure. Once we have preferences, we cling to those attachments about, you know, what people should treat us like or what, you know, ideal of a good person is or them living to their fullest life and all these ideas that we're talking about. It's hard to accept. Sometimes we just have to let it be. Cool, cool. I'm gonna do some. Yeah, anger's. Well, yeah, yeah, anger can be a demon. I'll say, but it can be your friend if you learn how to use it correctly. That's exactly right. It's a good point. I'm gonna do some plant facts here for you guys. Nerdy's not here to do mushrooms, so we're just gonna skip over that. But some pretty cool plant facts here for you. Did you know that over 85% of plant life is found in the ocean? Actually, I want to look this up and actually see exactly what kind of plant life. Actually, turns out it's a myth. This is why I wanted to look it up. I was like, you know what, this sounds. Scientific data shows that roughly 82 to 85% of the plant biomass on Earth is actually located on land, mostly trees and forests, while marine plants make up less than 1% of the global life. That's what I thought. I was like, I have to look this up to make sure because you might just be telling people the wrong thing. Land holds about 86% of the total global biomass, driven by overwhelming terrestrial plants, marine plants, algae. This is what I wanted to see here: algae, seagrass. I guess it's just those two account for a tiny fraction, less than 0.2% of the planet's total biomass. While the ocean lacks plant mass, it holds a majority of the world's animal biomass, though. About 78% of all animal life. Okay, hold on. About 78% of all animal life lives in the marine environment. The 85% figure is often confused with the statistic that phytoplankton in the ocean produce roughly 50 to 85% of the Earth's oxygen. So therefore, the myth, roughly 85% of the plant life. That's where the myth comes from. Okay, cool. Pretty neat. I got a couple more here. Bamboo can grow up to 91 centimeters in a single day. It's the fastest growing plant on Earth. Maybe a lot of you guys here maybe know that. The world's oldest living tree is the Methuselah, and it's over 48,000 years old, or 4,800 years old, rather. 4,800 years old. Carrots were originally purple and not orange. This is a pretty cool one that you guys have probably seen on the package of vanilla flavoring. It has a white flower on it. And that flower is the orchid flower. That's where vanilla flavoring actually comes from. So next time you look at vanilla, check and see if you can find the flower. And a lot of packages will have like a white flower. Dandelions are completely edible from root to flower. They're really good for coffee substitute. A lot of people you actually make chicory root in with it and a couple other things to make it actually have more of a coffee flavor. But dandelion root by itself has a really nice coffee flavor, especially whenever you roast it. And so if you're trying to find a substitute that's caffeine free, to try to wean yourself off coffee, or if you're just looking for a natural caffeine free coffee, dandelion root is really great. It has tons of health benefits to it as well. The flowers and leaves you can use to make salads and things like that. Whenever they're super young, the leaves are better when they're young. We talked about this the other day. The smell of freshly cut grass is actually a distress signal sent out by the plant. We talked a little bit about plant consciousness and how plants probably have communication more than we know. Lotus seeds can remain viable for over 1,000 years. I thought that was a pretty cool fact. It's crazy to think how many different plants. Some plants, like the resurrection plant, can dry out completely, come back to life with just a few drops of water. Nerdy actually showed me a type of, believe it was a lichen, that he put some water on it and it actually came back green within a matter of an hour or so. It's pretty cool. Let's look up, see some more seeds here. How long do different plant seeds last? Most vegetable and plant seeds stay viable for 1 to 5 years when stored in a cool, dark, dry place. Those specific lifespans depend heavily on the plant family. Short-lived seeds are onions and leeks, parsnips, parsley, corn, peppers. They lose onions and leeks lose vigor fast because of, or they're best used fresh. I guess this is talking about Yeah, onions do seed. So um, parsnips and parsley drop in germination rapidly after the first season. Corn usually declines by significantly by a year or two. Peppers for about 2 years. Medium-lived seeds are 3 years. Beans and peas, carrots and celery, spinach and broccoli. Long-lived seeds are tomatoes and eggplants, cucumbers and melons and squash, radishes, lettuce, and turnips. Often lasts up to 5 years or more. Cool. Just got a little chart here. Let's check this out. I guess it depends on. They have a couple different types of seeds from different companies here. And beans are lasting about 3 years, 2 to 3 years. Beets are about 3 to 5 years. Carrots are 2 to 3 years. The longest ones are like they were mentioning melons and peppers. Um, Peppers differ a lot, but yeah, they can get pretty. Some tomatoes in here, squash, pumpkins, about 4 or 5 years. Pretty cool, dude. I think that's all I have on plant facts. Just a couple of random things. Get back in here, check you guys' comments. While I'm doing that, I want to go ahead and put this up for you guys. I think most of our viewers are not in Colorado, but just in case, just to put it up there and let people know we're trying to do meetups in person now. This is the first in-person meetup for Mystic Journeys, Brad Feather Lake Community Park. If you guys are in the area, check us out. It's free to join. Just make sure you're 21, no kids, and come and have a good time. Oops, sorry. It's pretty cool. The Seed Vault in Norway. Yeah, I've heard about this. Let's look this up for people who've never heard about this. This is pretty cool. It's super cold up there, so they could hold these seeds in there. Let me not talk out of pocket. I'll just look it up. It's pretty cool. It's this Slavbod Global Seed Vault. It is a secure global seed bank on the island of Spitsbergen in Norway, holding over 1.4 million seed samples as a safety backup for the world's crop diversity against disasters, war, and climate change. The global insurance acts as a backup, an ultimate backup facility for an international gene banks to safeguard agricultural and food security. The black box system disposing organizations retain full ownership and control access to their specific seed samples. Pretty cool. Norway owns the physical structure, so you're allowed to deposit your seeds into the bank. That's pretty neat. The interior structure is strictly closed to visitors, though an online tour is available. Pretty cool. I'll check this out in a second. Let's see what's up here. Built 120 meters deep into a sandstone mountain, utilizing natural permafrost to keep seeds frozen even during a power outage. Maintained at an optimal storage temperature of negative 18 degrees Celsius, or but basically 0 degrees Fahrenheit, with a low moisture level to ensure long-term viability. Designed with 3 vaults capable of holding up to 4.5 million distinct seed varieties, roughly 2.5 billion individual seeds. So they're only at a fraction of what they can actually hold, especially when you consider how small seeds are, for the most part in general. Let's see. Check this tour out. Maybe we can like show some stuff out. Start tour. Hold on, I want to read this real fast. It did let me start it, but I want to actually. The Slavbord Global Seed Vault was established and is owned by Norway. It is operated in a unique partnership between the Norwegian Ministry of Food and Agriculture, the in the regional gene bank Norden or Norgen rather, and a crop trust, an independent international organization. Okay, and this is really cool. Let me switch over here so I can show you guys. There we go. So yeah, you can like drag and drop if it'll let me do it here. Maybe I can do it. Give it a second, see. It says drag and drop to explore, but it's not letting me do it. Maybe you need to be on a computer to try it. But you can actually see it down there in the corner, or maybe you can on the screen. Yeah, pretty cool. Check this out on your own time, guys. Go to the just type in Seed Vault in Norway, and it comes right up to their website. You can click on it and do a tour, or maybe you can site search /tour for their website. Pretty cool stuff. Awesome. One 120 meters deep. Pretty cool. Wonder how they even get down there. When was it built? It was built in. Let me ask here. Google. When was the Norway Seed Vault built? It was built in 2008 and officially opened on February 26, 2008. 2004, the Nordic Councilors of Ministers commissioned the feasibility study for the project. Construction began in 2006 with a groundbreaking ceremony led by prime ministers of Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, and Iceland. It's probably where they ceremony they just like chop the ground with a pickaxe or something, right? 2008, the facility was completed, inaugurated, and received its very first seed shipments in February of 2008, 26, February 26. Cool. Yeah, it's trying to give me some more stuff here. Let's let it do it. The total approximation cost of the projects is about 45 million Norwegian kroner, about 9 million US dollars at the time. The construction was entirely funded by the government of Norway. Ongoing operation costs are jointly funded by the Norwegian government and the Global Crop Diversity Trust. Built with massive thick concrete walls, is designed to withstand high magnitude earthquakes and nearby explosions. Pretty badass. Located 130 meters above sea level to refrain from rising ocean levels as well, even in the polar ice caps melt completely. Wow, even if all the ice caps melt, they'll still be above sea level. Pretty cool, man. Well, it says here in late 2016, unusually high temperatures caused heavy rain and permafrost melt, which flooded the entrance to the tunnel and then it froze. The water never reached the deep seed vaults as design slopes upward towards the storage room. Norway spent roughly 20 million US dollars, more than double the original build costs, to install completely waterproof concrete tunnel lining. Resealed the mountain walls, moved the electrical equipment outside the tunnel, and added upgraded drainage channels. Very cool. We're going down a rabbit hole with this. This is nice. I like this. Seeds are sealed in 3-ply envelope packets that block all moisture and oxygen. Packets are placed inside specialized plastic crates and on high density metal shelf units. This combination of dry air and negative 18-degree temperatures and sealed foil allows some crops to remain viable for thousands of years. Focuses heavily on crucial food crops, including over 150,000 distinct samples of wheat and rice and over 80,000 samples of maize or corn. Holds major collections of beans, barley, sorghum, potatoes, and peanuts from nearly every country on Earth. Protects rare, localized wild crop relatives that can carry genetic traits resistant to disease and climate changing. The black box policy, as we talked about, depositing gene banks retains strict ownership. The Vault staff will not release seeds to anyone else. In 2015, the International Center for Agricultural Research in the dry areas, or the ICARDA, withdrew seeds to replace a gene bank destroyed by the Syrian civil war. Wow, dude. So it shows it actually does work. After growing the crops out in Lebanon and Morocco to multiply the seed stock, the ICARDA successfully returned new backup samples to Slavbard in 2017. Right to stock back up, baby. Cool stuff, dude. It says here that the country with the most seeds is India. India is the largest contributor. Gene banks and institutions from India have had deposited the highest total volume, contributing over 95 million individual seeds to the vault. Global representation: half of the total seeds stored in the facility originate from just 17 countries, aligning closely with the global population centers and heavily agriculture dependent nations. So, yeah, makes sense to me. Norwegian laws: genetically modified organism (GMO) seeds are strictly prohibited because the vault operates under the jurisdiction of Norwegian biosecurity laws. Wow. National restrictions. Norway has incredibly strict regulations governing the import, handling, and distribution of genetically modified crops and materials. The core mandate of the vault is to safeguard the natural, historical, genetic biodiversity of Earth's agricultural heritage. So it makes sense why they wouldn't have them. I don't know if you guys could see that on there, but the perpetual repercussion, the iconic glowing artwork running along the roof and the front face of the building was created by the Norwegian artist Divek Cheng. Cool. I think that's about it all. It's pretty cool though. Show a picture of the entrance right here for you. Freaking sweet. No more you know. If there's ever apocalypse, go to Norway. And because, yeah, okay, this is what you're saying right here. Yeah, because they release the GMO out of control, it will kill the natural possibility of growing stuff to eat down the road. Yep, because we're not exactly sure how this can interact with our environment. Yep. In case of polar shift or anything, any disaster, right? Not much to look at. It's all underground. Yeah, that would make sense. Pretty cool though. Very cool stuff. Glad you showed that. I said that. Help us kill some time for the episode for today. Anyway, we'll wrap it up here in just a couple of minutes. Appreciate everybody. MysticJourneyChurch.org. reach out on socials, comment, like, subscribe. You know what to do. Um, I thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for being here, being positive, being cool. Um, yeah. I'll be back tomorrow with riffing. I don't remember who my list I'm covering. But we're doing '90s grunge bands, so I think it's either Rage Against the Machine or Alice in Chains, if I can remember correctly. But it's one of those bands, or someone like the '90s. We covered SCP and have a like couple of different '90s bands on there. Um, so we'll be back tomorrow for that. Appreciate everyone for showing up for riffing. And then we'll be back Friday for Five Agreements. Be picking up on where we left off from the symbolism of Santa Claus. Trying to see if I'm forgetting anything here. Sort of feel like I'm stumbling over more words. Yeah, what I do want to mention is, like I said, tonight I'll stream some Bob's Burgers. It's my fucking comfort show, so I love watching it. If you guys want to come watch, come hang out on Discord, watch, and we can hang out. And yeah, good to see you too, man. We appreciate you stopping by. Nice. Cool. I think it's gonna wrap it up here. Yeah. So hey, please have a good rest of your night. And try to practice the way that you see other people. Like, don't judge and try to force them into your box to live the way that you want to live. Let them just live their life. It's gonna be better that way for everyone. Let a tree be a tree, pine tree be a pine tree, let an oak tree be an oak tree. There's a great quote. One more thing here before I get out of here. There's a great quote that I have on my Discord here from the other day. It says, "If a plant cannot live according to its nature, it dies, and so a man, and so a man." Yep. Very cool. Be nature. Live like nature. Don't fight it. Cheers. See you guys in the next episode. Bye.
We stepping slow at dawn, mystic journeys on the door. Boots still muddy from the trail, we bring the woods inside the floor. Woven baskets by the bench, sage and yarrow in the air. Old hands pass a soft-born truth like firelight we learn to share. Be impeccable with your word, don't take it all to heart. Don't make a spell of what you see, we begin where we are. Mystic journeys hold us close, mystic journeys. stories, cracked out laughs, the kind that make you able. Ancient wisdom in the stew, in the herb jars, in our